works better for you. Please stop on in the dealership and meet the team, or check us out at couplecars.com. Stock number C280930. All deals with approved credit.
Live from the 93.7 The Ticket studios in the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Inside the Huddle with Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Fires a pass, and it's intercepted by the Huskers at the 25, Jay Foreman. And Foreman takes it down to the 19-yard line of Oklahoma. Another big play by the Blackshirts.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up? Happy blistering cold Sunday. Inside the Huddle, Jay Foreman, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. They would take care of all your imaging needs, and they have a great team over there. I will be there this week.
Getting fixed?
Twice. Gotta look at something, man. I got some issues, but
it is winter. It's that time to go in and get tuned up.
Yeah.
Before the real cold hits, especially the bones start aching, get a little chilly.
Yeah, well, I've been putting it off for a while, so we're going to get some hardware put in there. But I appreciate their support. Appreciate Dr. Fenn and Dr. Razdan. Dr. Razdan, I think, will be on Old School December 15th. And I got plenty of questions to ask him about, obviously we always try to cover, recent injuries or what's the next and upcoming, procedure or what he sees. And he's always trying to be at the forefront. And also AMI does a really good job of breast cancer awareness and pre-screening and stuff like that, along with concussions for up and coming middle school, high school athletes, and trying to keep kids and parents aware of that, because obviously in every sport it's a big issue, as obviously I know myself. But obviously Nebraska lost Friday on Black Friday. 40 to 26? 40 to 16?
No, not even. It was 40 to 16.
40 to 16 to Iowa. That's right, because it was 24 points. Not the best way to end the season. Huskers end up 7-5. Probably a very frustrating way to end the season. Very surprising. Probably, obviously emotional. People are going to be upset. Number one, because of, one, you lose the last game. Number two, probably the fashion. And third is you lose to Iowa.
It's a combination of the last two.
Yes.
Also kind of rolling out of Penn State the way you did. It's like, all right, normally we've responded well.
Right.
After getting our teeth kicked in. And that was where first time in the rule era, we doubled up on just wetting the bed.
Yeah, probably from a intensity and physicality wise, this is probably, because you remember after Michigan, his first year when they got embarrassed and kind of played scared, they practiced that next Sunday, went at it. And, this last game obviously was, after Penn State, where you kind of, I wouldn't say, you got, gave up a lot of running yards and got physically, manhandled, but, more or less embarrassed. And on national TV, obviously you lose 37-10 on the road at Penn State. You can kind of talk yourself into the reasons why, they were desperate, it's senior day, Latif's first true road game and all that. And it got out of hand there. And then obviously you double that up where, Iowa scored more points in the next game at home. When you felt like, last year going on the road to Iowa and kind of the same circumstances, extremely cold. Obviously Dillon was the quarterback and gave the game away. Seemed like Iowa was intent on trying to make a statement that last year was too close. Now that, if you watch the game from last year, you can't lie to yourself and say that Nebraska did dominate that game. And, this year we got dominated because, you go into halftime, you're down 24-16.
Yeah.
That's a one-score game.
Down by 8 points.
Yeah.
But at that point, Emmett Johnson already had 180 on the ground.
Right, yeah.
So you're doing some things. You can't stop Iowa to save your life. But,
right. But you
offensively, you were doing some things.
Right, and you figure like, okay, Iowa's kind of emptied their tank or emptied their clip offensively because they were in a really good rhythm. With the situational passes, they hit the I call it the loop-de-loop double move on our safety there. Was it Guthrie? Is it, and I was saying I call it the loop
tight end.
Yeah, Guthrie was 20. His number 20, 81 hit it, and I say it's the loop-de-loop because I remember, seeing people play the Turkey Bowl. Old dads go out there, and when you run the, he kind of came down, pirouetted, and went up the sideline. So, really, obviously the game is the game, and we could look at the stats, but I think the biggest thing is, Harrison, is like what can you do, or what you do from go from here, because you can sit here and just keep hammering over the stats. Like Emmett had a great game, obviously 200 some yards, and he was a leading receiver as well. Obviously Iowa, was making their way back as far as like the team stats, right? Like at the first, they had more first downs than us. They were better in third down. Even on fourth down, they had more yards than us, more passing yards. And all this stuff, right? Both the penalties were about the same, X, Y, and Z.
Just a bizarre game where you outrushed Iowa for the first time probably in a while.
Yeah.
That was the end result of it.
Yeah, and also was one huge run. It was 80 yards, but Emmett was probably giving him the business. He wasn't giving him the business all day. But I think the biggest thing is you gotta, where do you go from here? That's pretty much the best thing you can, way to go about it. And it's not burying your head in the sand. And sure, you're going to be mad at Coach Rule. You're going to be mad at the players. You're going to be mad at every single coach. I'm not a big believer in, I'm not a fire the coach guy or whatever. You know how everybody wants to fight. As soon as the linebackers don't play good, we need a linebacker coach. As soon as the DBs don't play good, O-line, I'm not, that won't, you'll start over doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now, we're in year 3. So you got to figure out how to make a big jump from, 7-5 to, 9-3, 10-2. And that is a huge jump, even though you don't think like you can go back and look and say everything points to that Minnesota game. That's one you really felt like you gave away because it was something that you can control. You didn't show up wanting or ready to play. But you got a month. I'm assuming about a month before you play, because
all those bowl games, it's 30th, 31st December. So.
Yeah, everything points to Vegas, and obviously you won't know till probably Sunday, right? Which is weird because 80% of the teams aren't in the conference championships. But I guess somebody could get upset and all that stuff. But so within a week, you'll know where Nebraska's going. I'm sure they have a good idea where they're going, or have a couple good choices. So you got about a month before you play again. And then you got signing day on Wednesday. So you got to really focus in on make sure guys are locked in on signing day and as a coaching staff. And then obviously you got to figure out what you want to do and what you want to get accomplished this next month. And obviously by doing that, you have to address some of the things that you didn't do so well at times during the season. That's the only way you can kind of move forward. And it's a really good chance to try some stuff. I got a quick text here from Brett and Lincoln. Appreciate you getting up on this cold morning and listening and texting in. He says they couldn't stop us very often on the run, yet we kept trying to pass way too much. This is before it became out of hand. I think you're trying to keep them off balance so you can continue to run. Emmett had 30 totes, and you want to make sure. You're trying to. Because you probably felt like you could move the ball against them. Michigan State was able to throw the ball against them. If you were able to hit a big shot against Iowa, it does soften up their run defense, and it keeps you on time and on schedule. So I understand that. Maybe it was too much. You could talk about it afterwards. But I think the best offense for Nebraska was a more consistent and physical defense to allow you to get the ball in more advantageous positions. You know what I mean? Iowa slowly but surely got back into the game after we kind of started fast. They started to play the field position game and started just ticking towards better field position. That allowed them to do what they wanted to do on offense because they weren't under pressure being backed up. You get what I'm saying?
Oh, and then the muffed punt on top of it was a huge momentum punch.
It's all the same. It's field position. They're making you make the simple plays. Can you make those? Now, granted, it's 1,000. I don't believe in the whole targeting thing. I like this. I'm from the old school. We're gonna try to knock your head off. That was targeting.
Well, that's my whole rule with it. Just call. You got it. What is it? Because I don't feel like anybody really knows.
Nobody really knows, and it was the crown of the helmet. You can replay that.
It was pinpoint targeting.
Pinpoint targeting by the rule of
defenseless receiver.
All that
targeting the 6 inches. Like you could, they get the 6 inches. It's got to be this part of the crown.
Right.
Everything checked the box, and then it's they didn't even spend much time on it. They're just kind of like, yeah, no, not targeting. So I don't care if it was called like that everywhere. Because I think
it's not
you muffed
consistent.
the punt, like you didn't necessarily fair catch it. The guy's coming downhill. What's he supposed to do? But the rules say that's targeting still, and he can flag for it.
And also, one of the big things I think you need to stop ejecting guys too.
They just need to make it like a tier system.
Well, sure. There's intent. If I'm running down there and I see you, say like on one of those plays, somebody breaks a long run, and I peel back and I hit you with the crown. Not only is unnecessary roughness, it's targeting because I hit you with the crown.
And that's where the ejection should come in.
Right.
Because it tends easy to kind of see.
Right. And then the ones that where, I'm 6'2.5" and the running back's 5'10", he lowers his shoulder. I'm trying to make sure I don't get ran over, but better, more importantly, tackle him. That's not targeting. I don't even know if that's unnecessary roughness. That's just two different body types. There's ways to get around it, and it takes more effort to do so. But I also think it would clear up some things, but that wasn't the reason why they lost. But I think what Iowa started to do is do that. And so when you really get this month to look at everything, you could look at all the positives you've done, look versus the things you need to get better at, put it all together, and knowing that you're moving forward. I feel like it was a big jump from year 1 to year 2, right? Where you can be like, all right, I see tangible, I see it, man. Like it's good. And then this year wasn't so much, right? You know what I mean? It was still progress. I think last year was 2 steps ahead. This is maybe like 1. All right. And that's part of where you're at. The season's over. Like the regular season's over. So how do you get back on track? Number one, I think you just go back and evaluate every single play, every single player as much as you can, right? And they know like what they need to get better at. And probably this is I call it a silly season where these are things you could try, different stuff offensively, different combinations. There's going to be some young guys that are going to potentially be able to play in the bowl game because it's a free look-see. That's where we saw Donovan Jones, and now he's starting. And then, maybe you have some different guys, and I don't know how they can do it. I don't know the NCAA rules, but if you have some guys that you had been thinking about potentially not firing the coaches, not bringing in coaches to take their jobs, but you always have like a black book of analysts that you can have come in. You get what I'm saying? Say like they're an old player that he knows or somebody he knows, or like an old coach that he, maybe retired, come in and do that and get different, because you can help rehab or like expedite the growth of your staff by doing that.
I think that's what Holgerson was before we hired him.
But there's no pressure because he's not here to take your job. So then now you don't have to go home and think like, am I getting backstabbed and all that? And that's where communication is key. I think you could do stuff like that. It's probably a good week to get, recovered and rested, but then also a good week to, get into the weight room and get some good lifts. And then you just got to get the team's mind right. It's going to take a couple of days because there's levels to this, right? There's the guys that played majority of the game, majority of the season, they're beat up and they got beat up, right? So you got to get back. You got to get like, okay, I got to get back into the arena. I got to get back over to the stadium. We got to kind of, work with that. Then you have the guys like that are in the middle of the roster, played a little bit, had a little bit of success, maybe thought that they were going to play more, but didn't. They're kind of like looking around. Do I still want to be here? Do I not? And I told you so. It's on every roster, right? So now you got to get them into prove it mode. And then all while making sure that your seniors and the guys that are older are going to finish this thing out right? And then you got the third tier. And those are the guys that are either redshirted, maybe they only played 3 games, but you really liked what you saw and saw some potential, and say they made improvement on scout team. Well, here's your chance. This is the look-see. And your 2026 season starts now. The changing of the guard starts now, and I wouldn't say total changing of the guard, but your guys that are going to be your true leaders, this is where you start to, impose your new leadership style. This is where you need to start really thinking how you want this thing to hopefully shape up next year. And And it starts right now. It doesn't start in January whenever they get back. It starts right now. And then also you got to look at, the best thing you can do. And I know we got 10 minutes. I want your opinion on this, Harrison. I think this is a good time. Like you say, you go into the linebacker room. I always talk about linebackers because obviously that's what I did. And go in and say, okay, I like what I got, or whatever it is, whatever you think. Okay, let's really peel back this onion. I always say peel back an onion because I love onions and mushroom. But you do it and you say, okay, what do we want? What are our like non-negotiables? Unless it's somebody like a extreme case that we go out of it in a linebacker. What's a Husker linebacker? What's a Husker middle linebacker? Meaning a guy that's in the middle of your defense. What's the other guy that like the other stack linebacker? And then throw in the nickel as well, because he's kind of, if you put 3 out there, that he would play in the slot too. But what do we want? What are the attributes of that? Not just the height, weight, size, speed, personality, mentality. You know what I mean? That's what you can really do that. And that helps because now you're going to be recruiting in the portal, and then you go through every single position there. And the reason why I think that's a good plan, because that's what the Buccaneers did after Brady was there. That's one of the things that he brought in from the Patriots. You know what a Buck is. You got to know what a Husker is. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, you got to have those conversations with the amount of missed assignments. Like, because even last game, I know a lot of people were getting on Butler, but we had some one-on-ones where we just lost. Like, the play call was there.
Yeah.
And we're just losing on them, or we're just not, we don't know what the assignment is. We're losing contain. You got to figure out what you're supposed to all be doing there. It just feels like the connective tissue wasn't there.
Right.
For some of those parts of the defense. And I think that's what you're talking about. Like, you got to figure out, who the hell are we?
Right.
If you could get that identity down. So yeah, you got to ask yourself, what is a Husker? Because the development in Nebraska, I mean, sooner or later, our recruiting, it's not always the best metric, but where you rank recruiting, we have to start seeing some of the fruits of that.
Yeah, it should correlate to what you do with your end of the season rankings. So
yeah, not a 22-6 loss versus Minnesota, who is, in the past few years has been in the 20s, 30s,
and sometimes
and we've
40.
been 20 under. Yeah.
But then you want to start at the 40, and that class and that team, you want to end up in the 20s. But I think what you're saying is it's a good time as a staff, or like say I was an A coordinator, and it doesn't matter whether you're offense, defense, or special teams coordinator, to get that connective tissue back. Okay, when I call this play, I say this, and I need you to do this. You get what I'm saying? This is what I mean. And then that's where you this is why this wasn't successful. And get in there and say, it's not a bash session, and say, okay, it's 3rd and 9. I called quarters because this is what our game plan has said. They usually like to run a deep over route in quarters. Okay, what's your communication? This is what should have been done. This wasn't done. You can't tell me you did it because you didn't do it. This is why. So you're on to something. Figuring out the why and understanding why things are happening or aren't happening is just as important as people. Everybody wants to change the scheme, change the players, change the coaches, because it's the first reaction of everybody. And sure, and it's rightfully so to feel like that though too, because they're paying a lot of money to come watch, right? And let's not forget, all these kids are getting paid scholarship money, and I think everybody on that team gets a little change in their pocket no matter what.
Yeah, and some of the best facilities,
all this
right,
fan base the fan base has provided.
And
coming out there on a cold day and watching that. So they're right. They're right to feel that way.
And Matt Rule, to be fair, he said, "You have every right to be upset." So I didn't think he was ducking it. And I know some people weren't happy with his post-game press conference. There wasn't a lot of right things he can say, but at least
there's nothing you can't say.
He said, you guys have every right to be upset.
Yeah, there's nothing you can't say. You should be mad, and it is what it is. But it's so that's where you got to get. Everybody's first reaction is somebody. You got to do something. Somebody should be held accountable. And then you're questioning whether some people can coach and some people can't. It's a combination of, and this is where you go into look at, Ohio State beat Michigan. Julian Sand is a young freshman quarterback. And they're like, oh, people, the first thing say, well, he throws to two really good receivers. Well, so did Joe Burrow. What makes a quarterback and receivers really, really good is the combination. The Joe Montanas, the Jerry Rices, right? The, Randall Cunningham and Dante Culpepper with Chris Carter and Randy Moss. It's Troy Aikman and Michael Irvin. You just don't become great by saying, I got a great receiver and you can put anybody back there, or vice versa. You got to have somebody that's able to deliver the ball with such detail that allows Harrison, in this case, as a receiver, be the best that you can be. And you can't be a good defense if you're not connected from level 1, 2, and 3, and that's defensive line, linebackers, second level, DBs. So you got to get that connection back, and then obviously offensively, you got to do that as well.
Yeah, it's to your point, like they got to start working now if you really want to have like next year be a good year.
Yeah,
with the schedule, you have to start working now, and it's you got to be hungry for it. Like that defensive line, I you get a little upset. I hope those guys are mad the way they've kind of been talked about all season long.
Right.
And use that as a chip on your shoulder. Whatever you need to do to get that fire in you. Because next year is not going to be any fun if you don't figure out that fire.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's
you have to get better at stopping the run. Just flat out, period. I don't know what we'll do in the portal and everything, but you don't want every answer to be the portal.
The answer isn't. I mean, it'll give you like maybe a year if you hit on all the portal guys, but you can't build sustainable success through the portal. That's just what it's shown. Now what I mean is just overabundance of the portal. Like every year I'm gonna go in the portal. Deion Sanders, they tried it with Colorado, and obviously this year's a little bit of a different case. But have you listened to what he said though?
No,
about that. So they knew that they were gonna obviously have a little bit of downturn with 3 really good players, and they lost some other good players. All the receivers are on NFL opening day rosters and playing.
And then he had cancer in the offseason, all that was going down.
But he was saying that they hit the portal hard, and they spent a lot of money on guys from the portal who didn't pan out. They didn't come here and play the same way that they did when they were at other teams. So they came and just got the money. That's what happens. And so, you have to add from the portal because you got to continue along with progress, but then also you got to make sure you're developing. So you got to make sure you do it strategic. I think the biggest thing you need to do is make sure and really what you can do, and this is the biggest thing I think Indiana did more than just bringing all those kids from JMU. If you could hit the portal and obviously everything remaining equal, talent's somewhat, as good as some of the maybe higher ranked guys, right? Where you're not like way down as like a 1-star and a 5-star in the portal. If you could get 4 to 5 guys that are really good dudes that love football and have really true leadership skills, it would turn around like that. And that reason why is because those guys will come in and take over your locker room and show the guys really what true leadership is. And then that will be a legacy that's left from here on out. Then you will know without a doubt. Because then you have a true, I call it tangible, measuring stick of what a D-end, a linebacker, nose guard, free safety is, or whoever these positions are, because you'll be able to go to recruit like-minded guys once you see it. You get what I mean? Because they'll be older, and they'll pull you along and say, man, that's not how it goes, right? And this is how you should be doing it. And then that's how you move forward. That's how that's because the best way, or majority of the time, athletes are visual learners. So you're in here, right? And you're knowing how to work. You're knowing how to show up on time. You know how to do more. You're learning how to study. You learn how to be, respectful on and off the field and all that stuff. And you're a young guy and you see a player do it, right? Doesn't matter if say you're a freshman and I come in from the portal from Florida, you know what I mean? And you're just coming in as a freshman. I'm a linebacker and you're a linebacker. And you see me have success on and off the field. You're going to just say, I'm going to do pretty much all the things that Jay did, but I'm going to do it my way. But I know what to do and not to do. So now you went from a freshman not knowing what to do and trying to figure it out to a sophomore was like, man, he made a huge leap. Because then athletically, you're going to grow twice as fast. You're going to develop twice as fast because all the other stuff, the distractions are to the wayside.
I think that's what they're going for in Rocco Spindler, to fix the line, but he just came off of a close to a championship run there. Good team. He had that freshman leadership, and you could make an argument maybe some of it rubbed off because our run game certainly looks better this year.
The run game was way more better than
my Bears. They brought in Thuney, the future Hall of Famer. He had a run. Was the Buccaneers, I think?
Patriots,
Chiefs. So Super Bowl. And then you go look at this year, and the guys talked about on the Bears as well how big he's been.
Yeah,
and their run game has been huge. It looks like a completely different offensive line, despite not having a ton of. They worked and got some new faces, but
they have a ton of talent. They had a ton of younger potential guys that they drafted, but this dude came and he accelerated the production, and that's a strategic move by your boy Ryan up there. It was Ryan Gomes, the GM, and Ben Johnson. He knows, right? You're bringing them in, right? If Detroit had success, right? You get to NFC Championship, and so that's we don't have all the answers because but we have suggestions, and so if that
helps if you get those right guys. It can do way more than you might even anticipate.
Well, one of the guys that they brought in that has superior leadership skills is Gardner Johnson. No, he'll tune you up now, but if you let him be him, he will change the identity of your defense. It's the same guys earlier in the season that were struggling, not struggling, but not playing to their potential, who they went and got after he got let go from Houston. Gardner Johnson. You see the toughness that they showed against Pittsburgh. The extra toughness, they go on the road to Philly and beat the brakes off of them. We're going to take a quick break, come back. We're going to talk about the games of rivalry week yesterday, and then we'll talk a little NFL because your Bears are.
Hey, now.
Yeah.
I told everyone that we were going to win on them.
Yeah, your Bears are doing it. We got some NFL slate coming up. Jay Foreman inside the huddle. We'll be right back. This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Back Nine Golf in South Lincoln is the premier indoor golf experience in the state. The weather in the winter months is cold, windy, and as unpredictable as a tee shot on the 450-yard par 4. With top-of-the-line full-swing simulators and a PGA teaching professional, Back Nine Golf is there to help you improve your game and lower your score. Back Nine Golf is open to the public with 24/7 access for members. Learn about Back Nine's variety of memberships today and see the facility for yourself at 7501 South 15th Street in Lincoln, just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Back Nine Golf, your premier indoor golf and events destination.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable, chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
From the chant of Husker Power to Allo Fiber powering your home and Husker Nation, Allo is the teammate you can trust. Whether you're streaming at home with Allo Internet, watching on the go with DirecTV through Allo, or checking stats and scores on Allo Mobile, Allo keeps you in the game. Bench the other guys and team up with the official internet, TV, and mobile partner of the Huskers. Go Gig Red. Visit allofiber.com/Husker Radio.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
Leaves are falling and temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Winter leagues begin on December 1st and are open for registration. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker Watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate or team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps? Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right, most recommended Eustace Body Shop.
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Rick Heyman here from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. I want to personally thank our great customers for voting us once again the best of Lincoln. At the same time, we're celebrating our 120th year in business in the great state of Nebraska. You can count on Sartor Heyman for the very best quality, value, and customer service. When it comes to your jewelry needs, visit us at South Point, Grand Island, and the Outlet in downtown Lincoln. Visit us today at sartorheyman.com, and thank you for your continued trust after all these years.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Back to Inside the Huddle, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging. Here is your host, Jay Foreman.
What up, we're back, second segment. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. Now on to other things besides Nebraska losing to Iowa. It was hate week, rivalry week. I've never been able to say that. Rivalry. Is it rivalry?
Yeah, rivalry. I got me tripping up. Yeah, you got it right the first time.
Rivalry.
Definitely not that.
Rivalry.
Yeah.
Rivalry week. A lot of good games. Obviously, Lane Kiffin and whether he was going to stay or is going to stay at Ole Miss or now go to LSU really took it over. He took over the nation. Obviously, Ohio State was able to trounce Michigan and get some revenge. Not only won a national title, but then able to go back and beat Michigan. That was on Friday. And then after that, it's been all Lane Kiffin. I mean, it really has. It's
Lane Kiffin versus his own local media too.
Well, yeah, man. and that ain't even Lane. I like it. You know what? One thing I like it. I'm gonna text Lane. I hear you. Go ahead, stand on business. That's what I'm talking about, Lane. He took that personal.
I don't mind it at all.
Everybody's got a little word that will make you snap.
Mm-hmm. And that was the one.
And that was it.
It's funny though because I'll tell you what, that reporter did not make eye contact.
No,
it was.
Yeah, he didn't. And sometimes
then he hopped back on his podcast and doubled down.
Yeah, he did double down. No,
That's crazy. Like,
he's kind of like that dude that was around here last year during the transfer portal. Remember, he was writing all those like he had a couple fake accounts, and he was talking junk about like Malachi Coleman. And he finally got called out or whatever. People found out who he was, and I've seen that dude around. But anyways, and so it was the Lane Kiffin weekend. It's still waiting. But you know, obviously everybody says that Lane Kiffin is going to LSU. Now, he was over at the chancellor's house until very late because what's his name? Marty the guy that from ESPN was, kind of there. So he was reporting on this since 8:00 in the morning yesterday. And he signed off at midnight and said that Lane was going to have a meeting with his team at 9 a.m. So that's right now. And so it's probably hard for Lane. I mean, obviously he's very conflicted. Obviously both of his parents have passed away. I have a lot of respect for, Lane himself, but more importantly, his dad, Monty. Monty's a big reason why I ended up at Nebraska. I was a ball boy with Lane, a high school rival, or our high schools were rivals. And, obviously he told Coach Osborne, yeah, he's a good, could be a good player. And then that's, you know what I'm saying? So it's, I got a, affinity for them, but, I mean, I'm sure it's hard, man. I mean, he built that program up, made him relevant. And maybe he feels like he hit his ceiling or wants to really go to LSU and be out of school, like that.
He'll fit LSU. I'll say that.
Yeah, it'll be quirky. He's quirky, but, he's got to be wary of some of the things down there. It's not as sweet as you think it is. When you have other people outside the program trying to take money from other coaches and stuff like that, you got to make sure you're Trump type. But I think Lane's had some good lessons throughout his time. The fact that he talks to Nick Saban, I think, will probably push him towards LSU. Nick Saban loves LSU. Potentially, they were talking about him going back, but he said no, or his wife said no. Nick Saban put his stamp and pretty much set the standard for that LSU program. That's what people don't understand. That's why I always think it's funny when people shy away from past greatness. Part of the reason the standard at LSU is what it is because of Nick Saban. What he did there. The story is that he took that place from a dumpster fire as far as facilities and everything to the national powerhouse. Then obviously he left, but everybody else had to hold up the standard since then.
I think that ring true with his track record. I mean,
Right.
his hands are on the greatest college football programs, a lot of them. With Georgia, LSU's been down, but you can make an argument. But then you even go look at Indiana right now.
Yeah.
Who's got something
Cignetti.
going with Chris Cignetti. I mean, if you follow the Saban standard, you've had good luck.
Yeah.
Or not good luck, but you've had good success.
Yeah. And so, so we'll see what he does. But there were some good games. I mean, Texas upset Texas A&M.
Were you surprised by that?
Yes and no. I mean, both of those teams know each other. There's, Texas has struggled. Obviously, Sarkisian is making his case to get into college football playoffs. Well, when you get trounced by Florida, no chance you're getting in. You got 3 losses.
Mm-hmm.
Unless something happens in the conference championship,
your Canes made it in.
Yeah. Against all the doubters.
Against a beatdown versus Pitt.
Yeah, against all the doubters on the road to Pitt. The Canes, they did their thing.
You get to play in a weak conference.
Yeah.
You reap the rewards of it.
Yeah, you got to take advantage of it, but we'll see. I mean, they got a ton of talent, but you just never know. They can win by 10 or lose by 30. So then the next game, Georgia Tech, that was anticlimactic. It was just kind of a, street brawl.
Mm-hmm.
And then obviously with Lane winning against Mississippi State, kind of cemented them getting into the CFP where they wanted to be last year. And that's probably where he's really, wanting to continue to coach, but then go to LSU as the head coach. What do you feel on that, Harrison? Would you allow him, if you were Mississippi or Ole Miss, allow him to coach through the CFP, even though he decided to go be LSU's coach?
Yeah, 100%.
You would?
I think so.
Really? Interconference team. You're going to allow him to coach the team, face-to-face recruit the players from your team to LSU, and then all the while Ole Miss is on the national stage and potentially a home game, all the media attention and all the the clicks and everything is going to be talking about LSU. You can't let him coach. Lane knows that. You cannot do it. This isn't like when Scott Frost was with UF or UCF and come here. We weren't even, our season was done halfway through. You're literally allowing him to purge your roster potentially. Because whether you say, okay, Lane, you can't approach them about leaving, they're leaving. And once he's at LSU, he's going to welcome them. Those are his guys, or some of them. Then he's coaching your team. Then the platform is all going to be about him. So the new coach is coming in, fighting an uphill battle times 2.
I guess. I mean, it's just what a lame way to end the year.
I know, for them. Remember how upset they were last year?
Yeah.
Felt like they should have got in. Here you are, 11-1. They're 11-1.
I would say you're gonna. I mean, yeah, everything you're saying is true, but what a way to. I mean, that's just a fart at the end of the season. You go through all that. Just, I mean, you're not wrong, but I just hate thinking of the season ending that way, regardless of the risk.
Yeah, I mean,
You're gonna
I
throw
wouldn't
away
say,
your chances
I
because
wouldn't
you're
say it's
scared
like
of LSU.
Well, it's not scared. It's just working against
LSU, and you don't
it's
think
working
you can
against
keep
Ole Miss.
Yeah.
And it's. I mean, I see why you let him still coach because he's built that program up, made it relevant.
There's a lot of downsides to your point, though.
But there's a lot of downsides to it. Now it depends on how that breakup, and that's maybe what the big sticking point is. But if I'm a administrator, I'm like, all right, man, you know what? This is where you want to go. I'm sorry. It was a great run. You got to do what you got to do, and we got to do what we got to do. Because whoever you are, the AD, the president, chancellor, I don't know what they have going on, their, pecking order. You got to make sure that you go out and get the next coach. And to be honest with you, by him leaving, they're starting over at 0. It's not going to be a continuation of what Lane Kiffin did. That's what they're facing.
Well, the amount of players that are going to follow him.
But it's just you're not going to be able to get another coach. Part of the reason why he made Ole Miss relevant and always in the preseason is because of his personality. There's only one Lane Kiffin. There's only one dude that's going to do yoga before the game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So you got to think you're starting over. You're going to have to reshape and rebrand or re-identify your program. And for Ole Miss, it's been a problem historically with their, with Mississippi and all the stuff going on around Oxford to reshape your program. So you're going to have to find somebody that's going to come in and not try to be Lane Kiffin, be himself, be embraced with the powers that be, but also dealing with the expectations of what he did when he left or while he was there. They're in. What's that word Steve Taylor used with Bach?
I don't know.
Yeah, it sounded like a swear word, but it's not. Is it conundrum? Is that
I
a
mean,
word?
that's the word. Yeah. They're in a conundrum.
Yeah.
Tight situation.
Yeah, you're in a tight situation.
This is why I just hate modern day college football sometimes. I totally understand why you wouldn't do it. Why you would just say, take your bags, get out of here.
Yeah. And it doesn't even have to be like mad. You don't got to be mad.
No, you don't got to be mad. You can be very kind. But either way, I mean, if you're an Ole Miss fan, you just, despite everything, the only way to end this season is likely with just a lot of frustration.
Yeah.
Like there's 0 win for everything that they've done. And you can't really blame Kiffin. I'm saying it's his fault either.
Right. He's got to do what he's got to do. Like, let me ask you this. So say.
It should just be a rule that like.
Say I'm the coach at Nebraska.
Uh-huh.
All right. And you're the chancellor or whatever, the AD. And I say, hey, Harrison, man, this is killing me. I gotta go. I might go. I'm going to coach the Miami Hurricanes.
Yeah, pack your bag.
Right?
Get out of here.
Okay. Here's that. That's why I said it. Okay, let's just say I'm going to coach Bama. Oh no, it's got to be in conference. So let's just say I'm going to go coach. I hate Michigan, but just say like
Iowa.
Yeah, or somebody. Or like I'm going to Illinois or somewhere.
Decent team. Okay. Yeah, Illinois.
Say I always want to go coach Illinois, whatever it is. But we're in the college football playoffs. You be okay with me like doing double duty? We built up Northwestern. Here it is right here. So I came in there. It'd be like Pat Fitzgerald built up. I mean, obviously, to say Jay Foreman built up Northwestern.
Uh-huh.
But I wanted to go, like, Illinois comes, right? And I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to go Illinois.
And we're Northwestern?
Yeah.
Jay, I need a favor. Just give us one.
One what?
Before you get out of here.
You let me coach another game?
Go do the damn thing. Get us a ring. Yeah. Just one, Jay. Just be locked in for a little bit longer.
And
I'll deal with all the recoils after, but no one's going to care if we win.
That's the only way you deal with it is like, okay, I went all in. I'm allowing to do it and see how it goes. But I will tell you, Lane Kiffin's history of being able to do double duty has not been good.
That's true.
Here's an example, just coaching-wise. Take all the off-the-field stuff. When he was with Alabama, he accepted the FAU job. He was so bad, or they said that he pissed off Nick Saban so much and was so bad, Nick Saban fired him. Because Nick Saban's always had coaches that accept jobs, but they're able to complete the mission, then go off doing your thing. And he's allowed them the freedom to recruit and all this other stuff. He couldn't do it then. Now, that was a long time ago. I think he learned from it. Obviously, Nick forgave him because that's one of his mentors now. We'll see. I don't know, man. Something about that LSU, man. You be a head coach, boy. They put like voodoo on you or something down there, man.
I mean, with Kelly, I could have told you. I think he had voodoo walking in the door. I was like, that
was a bad match. That was a bad arranged marriage.
I mean, that's whatever bad voodoo. I don't think bringing
that is
going to fix the voodoo.
You get down there and lose your. Hey, trust me. You get down there, it's different now. You ever been in New Orleans?
No, it's no.
Yeah.
The food looks great.
It is great. You stay on.
Yeah, there's other
don't
parts
get
that
off
don't
Main
look
Street.
as great.
So, anyway, we're going to take a quick break. Come back. We're going to talk about Harrison's Bears.
Oh, let's go. Don't
We're
go
going to
anywhere.
talk about the Bears. Jay Foreman inside the huddle. We'll be right back. This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
With UBT, you've got total control over your money. Like Doug, who runs his game day tailgate like a well-oiled machine.
I got burgers, brats, chicken, dogs, plus all the fixins. And with the UBT Go app, I can track my food spending from anywhere.
Pro move.
They don't call me Grill Sergeant for nothing.
No matter your goals, UBT helps you feel good about reaching them. Union Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
Anybody that's a golfer knows if it's a nice day, you have golf on the brain. So I came across the Big Red Golf Tour, never looked back, bought a book every year since. So it's nice to have that book.
Angela loves golf and loves to save money. That's why she loves the Big Red Golf Tours book.
I've bought it as a Christmas gift, Valentine's Day gift, birthday gift. Anybody that I've given this book to has been happy to get this book because they know that they can save a lot of money. You buy the book and all you have to pay is the cart rental. Green fees are paid for. It's an awesome gift.
Save money on golf with the Big Red Golf Tours book, especially Black Friday weekend. Over 100 courses in the book, including all of Lincoln City courses. You won't pay a dime for golf. Just pay for the cart. Black Friday weekend, save more. The book's 25% off, just $75, and you get free golf for 2026. Black Friday weekend only, $75 for free golf. Buy it online at BigRedGolfTours.com. BigRedGolfTours.com. BigRedGolfTours.com.
Ticket listeners know a dream team when they see one. At Applied Connective, we've been in the game for 20 years and have developed a team of world-class leaders in all things IT. From cybersecurity and Microsoft products to physical security, audio-video, infrastructure, business phone systems, and anything in between. We'll help you leverage technology to become your most secure, efficient, and profitable. Head to our website to check out real reviews and testimonials and sign up for a free tech consultation. We can show you where you might be vulnerable, inefficient, or overspending. It's a game changer, and it's totally free. Claim yours right now at appliedconnective.com.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at PAHLincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital. Your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Empower a child today with the Teammates Mentoring Program by building a relationship based on strengths and chart a brighter future 1 week at a time. Find out how you can be a mentor by visiting lincolnteammates.org. Become what you needed as a kid by joining the Teammates Mentoring Program today.
All ticketing options for the 2026 Love Nebraska season are now available. Single match tickets start as low as $16, even cheaper if you want to bring a group. Don't miss your chance to see professional stars like Jordan Larson and Lexi Rodriguez in action this season. Purchase your preferred ticketing option today by visiting lovneb.com/tickets.
At Raising Cane's, we focus on being the best at one thing and getting it right every time. Which is why every chicken finger meal we serve is marinated, hand battered, cooked to order, and made just for you. Quality isn't complicated, and our menu is proof.
Raising Cane's chicken fingers, one love.
Skip the line and order with our app or online.
You're listening to Inside the Huddle with Jay Foreman, sponsored by Advanced Medical Imaging.
What up? We're back. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, brought to you by Advanced Medical Imaging. Leave no doubt, we are now on to NFL.
Good, better, best.
Yeah. Your Chicago Bears beat the brakes off of Philly, sends Philly into a 2-week skid of dissension. A.J. Brown's doing well, but it's 2 losses.
What they get for doing wearing the all Black Friday like that?
Yeah.
I mean, realistically, the Bears heading into the season. Did you have any idea?
Well, I thought I like Ben Johnson. I do. I think if anybody can get Caleb Johnson or Caleb Williams to potentially where he's at is.
So you actually thought that pair would work? Because a lot of people said
I thought they was either going to work or be over real quick, and I think he's been very patient, right?
Yeah.
And I think it probably helped that he was with Jared Goff, right, and knows how. But Caleb Williams is a different dude, and I think Ben Johnson is a good enough coordinator where he figured that I'm going to take this job and I can work around what he does really, really good. I was a little worried because I remember in mini camps and all that stuff, Ben Johnson having to kick guys out of practice, saying that they weren't in good enough shape, championship shape. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And remember he had to kick guys out of practice because, and especially during training camp, because they didn't know the playbook well enough. I was like, oh, well, this will take a whole another year. Well,
it took a while, and they got that bye week saved them.
They started off slow and had some ups and downs, but you saw some positives.
Mm-hmm.
Coming out of the bye week, they look like a totally different team. And I think once you get that winning feeling, and you got, like you said, you got that one guy in there or 2 guys that are good leaders, they don't have to be your best players. Now, Tooney, obviously your best offensive lineman is going to be a Hall of Famer. Gardner Johnson isn't their best defensive player. He's by far their best leader.
Mm-hmm.
And he sets the tone for, the whole team. He's very vocal. He's very physical. He's a Super Bowl champion. He's well-traveled, but he's a unique personality that you want him on your team. You don't want to play against them. What that does, it allows younger players, which is a really young and potential laden roster, start to level up because now you got a lead dog with him. I think it's going to be a sneaky good pick, and if the season ends up in a positive fashion, it's one of the guys like Gardner Johnson. You got to bring him back next year.
Oh, for sure. He's a
glue guy.
He's a smart guy too.
Yeah.
He doesn't get enough credit for how smart he is on defense.
He's a really good player, though.
Mm-hmm.
I think people, I remember when he was with Detroit, and Detroit went down and beat Kansas City on the opening night, and he was, talking junk to Patrick Mahomes and Pacheco and all that. So that kind of reigns. And then remember, he got into a whole social media, back and forth with Deebo Samuel. Told him he was a running back playing receiver.
Yeah.
You don't run good routes. You're fat and out of shape. and all that. Now that's what it really goes to the forefront. But then he goes to Philly, and he's a big part of why they were able to get a championship. So Chicago's a team to be reckoned with. I think the Vikings are done.
Yeah. I mean, with McCarthy.
Right. I think look at the drastic, right? Where
the only worst QBR so far
ever
is Jamarcus Russell.
Right.
Or did he surpass him?
I think he is the worst. In either way, whether you're worst or second worst, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I mean, if your comparison is Jamarcus Russell, you're not in a good spot.
And so where they're at, I think Detroit vulnerable. I think Jordan Love in that offense, if you get a good start and beat on them, you can beat the Green Bay Packers. The only problem is that Green Bay defense is for real.
Well, Micah's playing some really good ball in these last few games.
And Gary and all those guys. And so you'll be in for a dogfight. Now, this is old school like I grew up, Harrison. NFC Central is black and blue division, man.
I love it.
Yeah. So congrats to you and your Bears.
How you Bills going to finish? 7 wins. They're not in like a horrible. You're not the Chiefs, right?
No.
The Chiefs are really looking down the barrel.
This next 2 weeks is going to let me know. You got to get it going. And so we're on the struggle bus, but my Houston Texans are on the come up. So we'll see. Anyways, appreciate you guys listening. We'll holler at you next week. Jay Foreman, Inside the Huddle, Advanced Medical Imaging, 7601 Pioneers Boulevard. We'll talk to you next week.